was that, well, she disconnects and the stream resets, blah, blah, blah. Now let's look at Zethian in this time frame. Keep in mind that Zethian went live at around 11:10, so we can't really use him for the previous example that we were just talking about here.
Correct.
We can, however, use Choice. Choice was live in this time frame from 11 o'clock to 11:20. He absolutely loses no viewers. Then he gains a few viewers at 11:30. So he didn't decline at all, which refutes that statement as well and helps aid evidence to my claim here. Now we look over at Zethian, and I wanted to talk about this because a lot of people are like, well, you know, you could have disconnected, whatever, maybe Twitch disconnected me, whatever. This is what a graph looks like when a streamer actually has a disconnect. So
yeah, it drops down to 0.
I just want to point out that at no point did either one of them claim that they were disconnected or black screen. They said it sometimes happens.
Speak about it.
Ellie, Ellie wasn't aware of what had happened.
Luna, you gotta let him talk, bro.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, Ellie. No, I mean it's okay. It's not like I don't feel like he's necessarily talking over.
Blue, you gotta talk, bro.
Okay, I'm working on it. Okay, so Zethian drops down to 0, and then you'll see he comes back, and he instantly has about a third of the viewers that he had before, but he has to ramp back up, and you can see that gradual ramp over time. That's what it looks like when a streamer disconnects. Then if you look over Byrog, I don't know if Byrog, I pulled up Byrog, I didn't actually finish pulling him out though. Did he stream? He didn't stream on that particular day, so that's tragic. But if you look over at Janae's Twitch tracker, actually I had it right there.
I have the link, I can send it to you.
Right here. Okay. So if you pull this up and you look at this graph, you can see that this graph, and you compare it to biceps, this is a steep drop off followed by a level to continue decline here. But
what's the viewer count there?
Ellie.
Yeah. Can you go back to Janice real quick?
Viewer count is 550.
What was before?
It was 1673 just before the fall.
So she lost 1,000.
Okay. Yeah, and we went over this. Yeah. We lost a little over. Oh no, it was about 1,100. About 1,100.
What's Ellie? No, you got to go back real quick. Go to the 2 points.
Yep. Okay.
It's 11:20 to 11:30. No, 11:20 to 11:30. Those are the two increments, right?
What? No.
One tick. No, 11:20 to 11:30.
To this tick. This tick.
Okay. Yes. 1,000.
So 1573.
Yes. 1,000.
Or 1574. To 1553, sure, 1,000. Then, if that's how you want to take it, I took it from the higher point. That's fair.
That's fine. Either way is fine.
Now, Ellie, and I want to be clear again. Look how different this graph looks when we compare it to my point. When Zethian disconnects and reconnects, it's a gradual nuke back because all streamers, when they have viewership, it's volatile. You see biceps. It's never a flat line. It's never a flat curve. Building, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, a little bit down. Okay, it's always sloping. It's always all over the place. Byrog Han, if I look at any of his streams, raid, and you can tell these are raids because he's getting follows in this short time frame. That's usually what happens behind a raid. That's how you know big spikes in viewers. So I'm not trying to accuse Byrog of anything here, but you can see he's down, he's up, he's raided, he's down. Right, the graph is never flat. Right, the graph is never really flat. But if you look over at Ellie's stream, the graph drops off and is dead ass flat. And again, you compare this to the other streams she's had. I pulled up 6 or 7 other streams or whatever. I can pull up more right now, where again the stream's just dead ass flat, basically the whole stream. This just doesn't really happen. Janae's again drops off to dead ass flat. And you said that it's like, oh, this is a smoking gun, this is the only thing I have. No, I mean a lot of people talk on this, but
I went through Ellie's stream. I went through the last 6 months of her stream.
Let him talk.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
I'm sorry. Go on.
No, it's okay. I'll let Luna talk. But the last thing I want to say is that you talk about the engagement in a streamer's chat, and a big thing that hurts Janae in this case, but not Ellie, because Ellie does have very engaged viewers for the viewers that she has. She does have very engaged viewers, right? Which is why this particular accusation has really never come up in the past, but I have suspected it. Janae, however, is not so lucky. She does not have almost any engagement in her chat. Almost 10 minutes could go by at a time with 1,700 viewers, and she could have almost nobody chat. So that is, again, another point on the graph here. So, Lunar, I'll let you go ahead here. I know that you have points that you want to talk about here.
So you're saying your argument is, look how steep the line is going, right? So in those two instances, is a straight line down, correct? And in Janae's case, is 1,000 viewers. In Ellie's case, is 500 viewers. Correct?
Yeah. Right.
Okay. When you look at Biceptimus Prime's channel,
right here. Okay.
You look at the exact same time, those two increments, what does the increment say?
We said, what was the increment? 11,
It's 11:20 for you to 11:30.
No, it was
11:20 to 11:30.
No, it was 11:11 to 11:20. We talked. No,
look at your down point. It says 11:30.
No, I'm mousing over right now. Do you see
right there. I'm reading it. It says 11:30. Are you? Am I getting gas left right now? What is going on?
11:21 on the right. I'm sorry. I
Okay.
1 hours 21 minutes. Okay, so it's 11:20 to 11:30. Okay, all right.
So we look at that increment for every one of these three streamers.
Okay, so 11:20 to 11:30. Right.
Yes.
Here.
Okay. So in that chart, it doesn't look very steep, correct? But look how many viewers there are.
Let me interject here. It is proportionally
gentle sloper, and this again
gentle slope, but 700 views.
It's the same exact time frame. Hold on. It's the same exact time frame, but we're talking about the difference between a viewer that has 4,000 viewers versus a viewer that has 1,500 or 1,600.
Yes, so the graph's going to look different.
So even if the numbers are comparable, which I think 700 to 1,000 or 1,100 is comparable.
500 is the same.
Right, there's comparable. And on additional information, this is from Twitch itself, that viewers are being falsely flagged, real lurkers are being falsely flagged as bots and leading to a significant drop in their viewership counts and potentially misidentifying genuine community members. So you have to factor that in. If that's happening, it's not necessarily this is hard view botting.
Okay. So
but I can also take other examples in the just chatting category. As I said, it did not happen just for BDO streamers, it did happen globally.
Correct. It happened across all the streaming space. So Twitch's new system is, I was looking this up while we were talking, it is AI-based, and the AI tends to get some information wrong. And some of the reasons that it struggled to identify people was because of a lack of movement throughout the platform. Like they're not clicking on pages, they're not interacting with it, they have things muted or the page is minimized.
Basically lurkers.
Yes. So specifically it is targeting lurkers, which the majority of our player base is very much lurk heavy because of the nature of the game.
Right.
Well, hold on.
Can I say my point now? No, I like to say something. Okay, so one, it is not confirmed that this system affected every single streamer at the exact same time. Correct?
Correct.
I went through as many people as I know who stream in the morning. And by Septimus, which is the example you use a lot to say that he is a prime example of a legitimate streamer. Correct? You said it like 8 to 9 times. Yeah. But you look at the point, at the same time from all these three streamers, they both dropped 700 views, 500 views, and 1,000 views. So I agree. At that point, that's when the new system kicked in. Do you agree with this?
I would agree that that's the point that the system kicked in, but Biceptimus' decline in viewership is not a result of the system. This is a false positive in this case, because again, if the system had kicked in, it would be a vertical line down. Okay, but it wouldn't.
That's not how that works.
You're misinterpreting graphology.
Yeah,
it is.
Listen, you're reading graphs wrong. Is what I'm saying.
Hold on.
His graph is bigger, right? Because he has more viewers, right? However, you can also look at several other factors here, such as what he was doing at the time that the content started to decline.
But what I'm saying is the data point alone, the only data point that we have in terms of how we're accurately assessing viewers is a graph. And statistics 101, man. The numbers, because the numbers are larger and the bite out of those numbers is roughly equal when we're talking about in the grand scheme of things. It's going to look sharper on a streamer that has 1,500 viewers that drops to 500 than one that has 5,000 viewers that drops down to 4,700 or whatever the case may be.
So if you still don't believe me, after, again, I've tried to present it a couple different ways.
It's not that I don't believe you. It's like, it's not conclusive.
My point.
You guys are focused way too hard on this initial thing. You need to look beyond this. Number one, again, what was the content that he was doing, right? So in this case,
content.
he finished the primary content for the day, which was enhancing the sovereign, followed by the boss, which means he's going to have a decline in content or a decline in viewers. Now he dropped
off.
Lot.
I mean, that's a substantial number. And at the same exact time frame, the coincidence is high.
It's not done. Okay? So he drops off here, but look what happens after the drop off. He continues to head downhill for a while after. Again, it's not a level line. It's not the same. Okay, so he continues downward, then it's up again, then it's down again, right? It's still not a level line.
I have a question.
Hold on. A lot more natural than this is why this looks a lot more natural. Furthermore, you look over at Choice's stream. Choice notoriously has a lot of lurkers, and Choice does not viewbot currently that I am aware of. And you can see during this exact same time slot, he actually gains some viewers. Okay, so like he goes from even to gain. So again, this is refuted here, and then again, Choice finishes enhancing. This is where he finishes his deck.
Can you mouse back over a little bit to the? I'm just trying to line up the times. So 11:20 is when it started. So 11:20, and then it goes from 11:10 to 11:20 is the time frame that we're talking about. So
11:10 to 11:20 is even.
Yeah,
he's not losing anything.
Correct.
Right.
Okay.
But hold on. Here he finishes his deck enhancement. The same thing happens to him that happens to Bicep. Okay. He immediately when he finishes, you can see because he changes his title. As soon as he finishes this, you see a steep drop off in viewers. This happens to me too, which I can visit my graph next if you'd like to. He declines here. Then he moves over here. You can see him trading in his armors here. He's going to do the grind zone stuff. And again, he drops down. And once he starts doing the grind stuff, he stays relatively level because this content is very consistent. At least he's doing, but it's still not completely level. It's still up, down slightly, and he's getting follows, and he's consistently getting follows the entire time. This again looks like a very reasonable graph based on the content that he was doing. Right? Again, if you look at my graph again, I was not live at
what time did you stream?
What time did I stream?
Yes. Look at your time.
I went live at like 11 a.m. Let me look.
Right. You went live right after the time frame in question, but that doesn't necessarily, just because it didn't impact Choice doesn't mean it didn't impact.
Right.
This is where I'm saying it's not conclusive.
Correct.
All I'm saying is it's not conclusive because the system happened globally and it happened inconsistently.
You're looking at time frames hours later, 6 hours later, the time of the view botting crash, right? This is something you said on your stream. That at a very specific time,
similar to Bicep. That's what I'm trying to show you. Is that
that's not what we're saying. I'm saying look at your graph at that time.
Drop off. Look at this drop off. Oh, at this time, I'm gaining viewers.
You just started.
You just started streaming, right?
Yeah, you can't line this up. It's not comparable.
So
here's what I'm saying, and this is the meat of. Okay, good. I
Look at this. I just finished enhancing right at this moment here, and you can see, look how steeply
it's consistent with the information of Choice,
right? Yes, look how steeply the viewers drop off. That is consistent with Choice. That is consistent with Biceptimus. Is the exact same thing.
No argument.
Finishes enhancing, look at the steep drop off. Finishes the primary content, look at the steep drop off. He has a reason. Everyone else has a reason. Jine did not have a reason. Ellie didn't have a reason. This is the middle of their stream. Just
agreed. Listen, I'm saying
just riding around in the world. Look at the stream.
So no one is saying that when you finish your enhancing stream, you lose the viewers. No one is saying that. Okay.
You do.
But
we're not saying that.
Let me explain.
We're not saying that.
The time frame you have claimed to be the smoking gun is 11 at your in your time zone, 11:20 to 11:30. That 10-minute increment is your smoking gun. And you use this, and you said this the exact same time it happened to Ellie, it happened to Janae, correct?
Right. Yeah.
And that was a massive drop in viewers. And Janae was 1,000 viewers, Ellie was 500 viewers. Okay?
Yeah,
at the exact same time,
you have to admit
Biceptimus Prime dropped 700 viewers.
But Bicep, again, I just tried to explain
the content of what's
the content
drop-off looks different.
He's right. What he's saying though is a fair assessment because unlike the other two where you Lunar went to their stream and identified nothing really substantial was happening at that time that would have changed their viewership, he's saying that Bicep had an event at that specific time frame that would have caused a dip in the thing. Now,
correct.
And I hear you. I'm just want to make sure that
Bicep
you understand. I understand what you're saying.
Biceps continues to change over time. The other two streamers don't change at all. There's no explanation. It's literally just a flat line immediately, right? Like it's basically a solid flat line.
Again,
but they're still getting follows and losing
doesn't
followers
work because you're seeing these two slopes as massive slopes. But you were disregarding Biceptimus' loss of viewership as a minor slope.
He's not.
You were not reading the graph correctly.
This isn't necessarily minor. you're not.
He's not. He's saying it's event-based. So he's acknowledging it, but he's saying it's event-based.
It's not minor, but it is event-based. That's the reason
I'm saying at that exact time.
They don't have a reason.
That exact time is when the Twitch view bot cancel thing happened. That's what I'm saying.
Now here, let me rewind. We can assess this across any streamer. Get out of our category and start looking at that same time frame amongst high-ranked streamers across the streaming sphere. You're going to see that same. If you don't see that same slope, and Lunar, you're welcome to do the same thing at the same time, right? Pull up data up and see if this happened outside of just Janae and outside of
one more point.
Because coincidence doesn't work that way where it's across the board.
I have one more point.
For example.
Yes, I'm listening. Go ahead, Blue. I'm listening.
I was going to say I don't think she had another point after that.
Oh, I thought you said you had one more point.
I do have a point. I thought Janae spoke, so I was just
Janae, did you have something? Janae, did you have something?
I sent it here in chat.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. Go ahead, Blue.
There's one more point. So right around 11:20, notice this is 20 minutes into, so Bicep finishes his primary content. And me being, normally Bicep and I don't stream in the same time slot, but we do overlap a lot of community members. So it is a fair point to say, okay, well, Blue would have been starting to actually ramp around 20 minutes in. That's when I would have started, actually enhancing my content. So he would have seen a more severe dip off right now than normal because I started streaming at the same time. He finishes the primary content. And again, there's an explanation for this dip as opposed to, again, Janae was just again, this is pretty flat up here. And then all of a sudden, boom, it's gone. And then flat here. And then if we look over towards Ellie, it's ramping very consistently here, and then boom, and then it's just a flat line for the remainder of time. So without explanation, because if you look at the clips around when this happened, she's just kind of riding around in the world. And so again, there's no real content explanation for this tip, but for Biceps, there's at least 3 or 4 plausible explanations that would explain a drop of this severity at this point. And to be clear, this is still only about 700 viewers in this time slot here, and Janae lost 1,000 at the same time, which again with no explanation there.
Oh, Lunar, can I task you with looking up other streamers while we're discussing?
If you can tell me which streamers streamed at that time, I can look it up.
So that these sites rank. So they rank literally. So find somebody within a similar rank of Janae or Choice or. Zathian would be an example, but I want to reach outside the category to show that this is. Hear me out. We reach outside the category. We're seeing a similar drop off. If we're seeing a similar drop off outside the category in the same time frame, coincidence doesn't work that way. If we see it with multiple streams, now if we don't see it with a few streams, then I can buy in the fact that hey, this may be an indication of chatbotting, not conclusive evidence, because it is an indication. If you start to look at things like in the frame of mind of okay, this is a red flag. I've noticed this red flag. This is an indicator of X. Until you have conclusive proof, you can say that there are indications, and that's a fair statement. You can accurately and definitively say there are indications. What you cannot, and Blue, I say this to you specifically because you have the largest platform. You have a responsibility to be accurate. And the accurate statement.
I do.
Yeah, I know. You have responsibility to be accurate. The accurate statement you can make is these are indications. It's not definitive proof, but it is an indicator. And indicators create a narrative.
He has something to say. Let Janae speak.
So you say that there's no explanation for my drop, but I gave my explanation at the beginning when we joined this call.
What was the explanation? I'm sorry, I was coming downstairs.
The explanation was that Twitch posted at the beginning of the month a notice that they're gonna do something against viewbots, right? So, and what happened at that time is a global drop down of viewers that happened in many streams. I'm not saying in every stream, but it happened in many streams. So I think the point is that the reason why it dropped down, and I do not have any other explanation because I don't know myself, is that people lurk in your stream. They don't have your stream as active tab, so they don't count as a viewer. And maybe Twitch pushed an update where only the people that were right now active in your chat do count as a viewer and the rest don't.
And that is consistent with what Twitch has said.
May I rebuttal that?
What happened?
You let her finish the thought first.
That even AFK people did not count anymore as a viewer.
And again, to before I pass it back to you, Blue, that is consistent with Twitch's own reporting. There is a system that went live that targets them, but the system's information is, by its own admission, unreliable because it's targeting people incorrectly. I pass it back to you, Blue.
Also, they're not targeting every single person at the same exact time either.
That is correct.
Yes,
And Lunar, that's actually a very good point.
They might be going category to category.
They actually are, because Twitch is smart about it. They're not rolling it out all at the same time. They're trying to catch people. If they roll it out all at the same time, they don't catch everyone that they need to catch in the net, right?
That's fair. It's also probably a nightmare on their
algorithm. They would roll it out. Yeah, they would roll it out almost category by category. Would make a little bit more sense on big update releases. Now, to Janae's point, that Twitch is removing, like the software is accidentally removing legitimate viewers that are just not chatting in your chat. Well, I mean, by your own admission, you have almost no engagement in your chat at all. So realistically, if that was the case in this case, you would have dropped severely lower in viewership, probably into the double digits or less.
Yes, because they are lurking. We are in a Twitch drops category, and this game is a half AFK game.
Let him finish his point, Janae. We'll just let him talk, and we'll pass it back to you.
Right.
So hold on to that.
So, yeah, again, the point was, okay, well, it's happening to me because all of my lurkers are getting counted as viewbots. And I'm saying if that was the case, you would drop to almost like low double-digit viewers because you don't have very many chatters. If all of your lurkers were turned into or were removed for botting, that's it. Like you just wouldn't have the view. You certainly wouldn't have 550. You don't have 550 people chatting. So like clearly there's something else at play here. I do agree that you probably have a fair amount of lurkers. That's why again your viewership didn't tank all the way to zero. And I would lend to yes, the detection software is flawed somewhat. Yes, it does have its issues.
Thank you for all those follows, guys. I'm sorry. I'm trying to listen to them and not talk over them. But thank you guys for the follows.
It's probably going to be a little buggy at the start, but we're always trying new things and continually trying to update the software because as our software updates, so do the cheaters trying to exploit the software. It's just like developers in a game in that regard. So like I would say that the software was working as intended in this particular case by evidence by the fact that again it doesn't line up. If it had accidentally removed all of the people not chatting, she would have dropped to extraordinarily low numbers, and she didn't here, which actually helps my point.
So here's the piece of advice I'm going to offer, I guess, both sides of this. All right, Blue, I feel like you have some legitimate indicators you've identified, right? And I also feel like there is some legitimate defense for the other side, right? So here is the common sense and the logic piece of this. This is a system that they're going to roll out, and it's not going to roll out temporarily. It's going to be how they handle things going forward. So all you have to do, and this is for both of your sides' benefit, as long as you are not actively campaigning against her stream, you're going to eventually see a transition in her viewership. If you are campaigning against a stream, you might cause that transition, and then the correlation becomes causation. Does that make sense?
Okay, I want to be clear. The only person that has, in this particular case, campaigned against somebody else
I'm going to give you a
actively
shout
get
out
them
properly
banned
just a
and witch
second,
hunt is Janae, trying to witch hunt me. 100%. She even did so in your chat earlier, where she is instigating people to try to report me, try to get me banned again. And again, that is also witch hunting, what is against TOS.
Blue, I understand
why
where you're
did I do that, Blue?
Janae, guys, please don't devolve this. Please do not devolve this, guys. Listen, I understand that you guys have issues with each other. That's not what this discussion is, and we're not going to transform it into a tit for tat. Right? What I am saying is you're misinterpreting. You're misinterpreting. Yeah, I know. Thank you, Kandaya. Thanks so much, bro. Appreciate you. I'm gonna give him a proper shout out in just a moment. I need to get this off my head, off my mind before I say it. So, for you, viewbotting is a system. The anti-viewbotting system is a system that's going to be transitioning permanently. You're going to see long-term data that's going to support your argument, right? What I'm saying to you is, if you are perpetrating, or not maybe campaigning, however you want to phrase it, whatever vernacular would be preferable in this case. If you are promoting the idea that they are viewbotting and you might cause the skew in their viewership, you may create a situation, because again, your platform is much larger, right? You might create a situation where
Not
you're
much larger. No, it's
You
not.
are. You're huge, bro. Look at the
streamers are.
You have 3,000 viewers that day.
Whoa, there's like several thousand viewer difference.
Look at the average viewership over. Look at Ginny's average viewership over the month, though.
Yeah, I'm not talking about
1,100. That's no slouch.
That's not. It's
I'm
not. It's not a small number.
Smaller than me here.
Blue, when you're live, if you have 3,000 people watching you, you have 50% of the category watching you live. So what I'm saying is that's 50% is a lot larger than 5% or 10% or 20%. 50%.
I mean, the viewer matters. The viewer amount matters.
My point is that if what you're saying is accurate, what would support your ability to articulate that argument and have an actual graphical, historical, verifiable proof is by letting it go and then observing the situation for at least a month to have that data backed. And either it will be on them to show that they, at that point, had their numbers have changed for a reason, or it hasn't. Because then you have historical, not just one singular instance, but multiple days or weeks of data that supports what you're saying. And I'm saying that don't skew that data, because if you're running a test, you never skew that test. I'm going to say hello to Kandaya. You guys are welcome to talk amongst yourselves.
Yeah, I want to be really clear
man, thank you so much for the huge raid, guys. Welcome in all of Kandai's viewers. We're having a little bit of a drama discussion
that a lot of people think that Janae is
I'm currently mediating
right because her
between
chat is overwhelmingly slow, and
so I apologize for taking so long to get to you, man.
You look over
welcome,
at Ellie,
bro. Welcome, man. Thank you so much.
It's a little bit more
good to see you, man.
obscure.
It's very rare where you end stream and I'm still live, right?
Of at least 6 or 7, like at least I don't know if it was 6, but it was quite a few graphs and stuff. And again, that's why Ellie was in the call, and she had a chance to refute everything, and we talked about it. That was reasonable. This is me talking with Janae, and I feel a very reasonable manner. But this isn't me just throwing out an accusation willy-nilly with only one graph for evidence. There's a lot of dots on the graph that support the line that these two are not playing by the rules. This was just honestly the most jarring, and which is why I brought attention to the matter.
I think it was a little early. Janai, go ahead.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So first of all, the reason why I think my chat is not active is because I'm a very quiet person. I'm not a constant yapper. I used to stream a lot. You can see I do not stream that often anymore. I used to stream a lot, especially 12 hours every day, 7 days a week. I was not constantly yapping because I mostly have to deal with a lot of headache and health issues. It seems for me really unreal to yap 12 hours a day. If I'm yapping a lot, then I do have a lot of chatters, but there's a lot of situations where I am not yapping a lot. So, and I want to be honest, very honest with you guys, and please hear me out. And I don't want to repeat myself. I only say it once, and I hope after that I just want to end this, because I am just tired of not being good with people. I am tired that I went today in Quendia's stream, and there was someone who was immediately attacking mine and Troy's relationship that we have together. And I think this is something that does not belong into a Black Desert category, into a gaming category where you are supposed to have fun with each other, where you are supposed to have to support each other's streams as a streamer. And that's my fair point. And I can also show you where these lurkers come from and what's happening in the background. So this is about the thing that viewers drop. I already explained you, so I will not repeat this. I started my NA journey like 9 months ago or 8 months ago, somewhere around that, and I got gear really quick. I made it to 800 gear score in 6 months, And people will ask me a lot, how did you do that and stuff like that. And because I am not an active YouTuber like you, Blue, I respect that, how much time you put into that. But me personally, I just don't have time to make videos and constantly update videos. This is why I came on the idea to make a Discord server. So I'm gonna send it here real quick. And in this Discord server, I uploaded like a lot of gear guides. I have a Deborika gear guide, Carousel gear guide, every guide about the new content, and I do that, calculate that completely with spreadsheets from Byrock and from other streamers, and also shout out them into my guides. And every day you can see that a lot of people are joining my Discord server. This is not just the only reason. There's also another project running in the background, which is the BDO companion app. If you never heard of that, is that Black Desert has a grind tracker, but it's only on global app, and they don't want to introduce that into the live server, and that's what me and Choice does. So we have here another Discord server where this server is only exists since like 1.5 weeks, and in 1.5 weeks over 3,400 people joined that server. And also my server did grow immediately, like completely, like 4,000 people joined within just a few months. And I think this is where all these people coming from, and you can definitely see in the Discord server that these people are not bots, you know. So, and to come back, why am I so quiet in my streams? Why am I not active anymore in Twitch in general? Is because I am suffering under a rheumatic chronic autoimmune disease, which is called Sjögren's syndrome, and this syndrome is causing me issues already since I am 13 years old. I have to deal every day with headache. I am taking at least 3 to 5 ibuprofen a day, and I have massive pain, like muscle pain, joint pain, and I am just trying to get over the day and to somehow survive. And I got this diagnosis beginning of August, and since then I'm going through a depressed situation in my life, because it also did damage already my organs, that I cannot eat anymore. You know, I have to.
Yeah, she's explaining something about her personal life. You gotta just give her a moment to talk.
A lot, and I have
There's
to
nothing wrong
figure
with
out
listening.
how
We're just
can
listening to
we
a human talk
solve
about their
this issue,
conditions.
because this is not just any disease. This
It's
is
not
a
about streaming.
disease
It's not
that
about content.
cannot
She's
get
being a person.
healed, like cancer, and it also leads to cancer. You know, so that's why I am with my mind completely somewhere else right now, and I just don't have time for all this Twitch drama anymore. And yeah, well, my viewers dropped and everyone is going crazy on Twitch because of that, but I just don't have the time for that. I just don't have the time. I feel exhausted. I just want to have peace, and I don't want to go into a stream that where people immediately insult me as I am the bitch of BDO, and
Understandable.
I'm a hoe, and you know, I don't feel
Gina,
well anymore. I
with
don't
you.
feel like streaming anymore, you know.
No, I got you.
And every time I go sometimes into Blue Stream, I'm sometimes working in your stream, and you randomly start talking randomly about me. And the reason why I said back in the days to my community that I want them to report you was because you started talking about me in the first place in your stream, and while I personally never mentioned you in my stream in the first place. So this is why I came up with that, just as a reaction of trying to protect myself and to protect my people. And I don't know what else I have to say. I just hope that end of the day we can have peace together, we can have peace with the community, and we can move on, you know.
So
That's all I have to say.
Thank you, Janai. That was a lot. Blue, sorry. Thank you, Janai. That was a lot. Blue, before I pass it back to you for response on that, Janai, I do want to touch on a couple of things that you talked about, because I think it is important. One, my chat had some comments, both positive and negative. Guys, if you're having a negative comment when somebody's being a human, that's you being a bad human. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Yes, oh, pity this, pity that. She's having a human conversation about her living conditions. myself, right? I'm active duty military. I talk about my life all the time. I'm very candid with what I do, and I talk about the things that I can talk about as much as I can talk about them, right? But that doesn't mean that I don't get into things like I don't necessarily talk about the time that I spend with my wife. I don't talk about the time that I spend with my children, but that doesn't take away from the time that I do spend with them, right? Granted, it's not related in directly to the topic at hand, which was the view botting comment, but it is tied into the feeling that she just basically is over the drama. That's what she's saying. I'm over this shit. I don't want to keep fighting anymore. It's not worth it. There's a lot of people in her stream, and to some things that she said is very valid. If you think about Blue's content, Blue is a very, very engaging streamer. One person that when you jump into the chat, you're going to want to talk to, and he's going to want to talk to you. And it's a two-way thing. He's engaging you, you're engaging him, right? And my content, for example, I'm not as engaging. When I'm in PvPing, the focus is mostly on the combat, not so much on the conversation. I'm kind of like talking about the technical aspects of the game, but for the average player, they're not really following. So the chat's not moving super fast sometimes when I'm in combat, and that's fairly normal for me. And in Jinai, your case, you might be, for example, grinding. Maybe you're not chatting as much when you're grinding, and when you're not talking and your stream's not talking and you're grinding, it's a cyclical effect, right? So it's logical for me that your chat will not move as quickly as Blue's. Now, Blue, you're probably gonna have a counterpoint to the fact of like, well, there should be some movement. However, I do want to hone in on the latter aspect where this isn't just about the views. Like, we also have to be people, and we have to have our humanity about things. So when you address the response, all I'm asking you to do is consider what she has said about her human condition, and that she does want this to be over one way or another. So that's all I'm saying. All yours.
Okay. All right. So there's a few points in here. Number one, no one's just attacking you without cause. I understand you're trying to play victim in this particular case, but no one's attacking you without cause in this particular case or in the previous case. You instigated something, whether it was AFK drop streaming or in this case, view botting, and there was a response to that action. If you don't want a response or a negative response in your public job, then don't do negative things like that are going to make people upset. Number one. Number two, the reason that you have low engagement is not because you don't talk a lot. I would argue that streamers that don't talk a lot don't have a whole lot of viewers on Twitch. That's just the brutal truth. Viewers come to Twitch because it's not that like you need to be like me. I'm like a over-the-top extra, and I talk all the time. But even if you listen to Lunarlay is a great example. He talks in his stream. He talks. It's very chill. It's relaxed. Zirdan's the same way. It's very chill. It's relaxed, but he's pretty much always talking. And that Zirdan is successful. Lunar talks less than Zirdan and has less viewers, but Zirdan's stronger at engagement, right? But in this particular case, if you are not talking at all, it would follow that you don't have a particularly crazy amount of viewers. Now, there are a few different ways.
If I would be a boy, yes, but I'm a woman.
I don't understand. So
just let him talk, Jenna.
Now is
Jenna, you gotta just let him get it all out. Just
okay.
We're to take turns.
No, let her.
She will when you're done. Finish.
Okay. Well, I just wanted to hear her point, and then I was going to rebuttal the points. If the argument is I'm a woman, so I have different engagement numbers on Twitch, that's completely erroneously false and very sexist towards women. Women actually have phenomenal engagement. Go look at Emaru and compare her engagement to anyone else with comparable viewership to her, like NMP LOL. They both have tremendously good viewership and tremendously good engagement. And the reason is there are a lot of guys in the chat that admittedly, they want to engage with the streamer. They come to the female stream in order to engage with the female streamer. They want her to talk to them. And so they will engage in chat very frequently. It's no secret. Female streamers absolutely have very solid engagement, assuming they are, of course, playing by the rules. I think it's kind of sexist towards women just to actually, and that's crazy coming, like, I know I'm the guy that everybody likes to call me sexist. That's crazy. But it's kind of crazy to say that women would have lower engagement because they're attractive, or women would have lower engagement because they are women. That's just not simply how Twitch works. Look at Rayrar's chat. She's a woman. Look at Mermaid on chat.
That wasn't said. That wasn't a point. You're rebutting a non-point.
people sometimes
Okay.
go on Twitch to see beautiful women. They click on the stream and look.
Yeah,
That
it
point
wasn't
then.
said. Yeah.
So that is the point. So that is
That is
exactly
the
what I was
point.
just saying. Yes, that's exactly what I was rebuttaling right there.
No, you were saying that women
Yes.
get lower engagement, but they get
No,
actually
you
a
said
higher
that.
engagement.
She didn't.
So I'm saying that women have equal engagement to men at the similar view counts, or very close to similar. It's not at all different. Well, I mean, we can just pull up two female streamers right now.
This is why it's important for you to finish your point and then let her
You
go,
pull up
so
two
you guys aren't
female
going
streamers,
back and forth over
not
the same
the
points.
entire
I feel this whole
category,
thing
not
is
Guys,
all.
going out of
You have
place.
to pull up all female streamers and see the
Janai,
whole statistic, not just two
it will
streamers.
not. We cannot have a discussion where he's going to have a coherent thought if you're interjecting, and likewise, he can't have a discussion.
I will finish up.
But what I'm saying is, you guys have to take turns, and the reason you have to take turns is you might be making a point that you'll never get to because she made a counterpoint that you have now derailed the conversation.
Fair.
So that's why I want you to finish your point.
Everything I wanted to say, and
Okay.
I don't know why people say I will view bot. I do not view bot myself, and I have no idea about it.
Then don't worry
all
about
I
it.
have to
That's
say.
all I can say is, like, if you don't do it, then don't worry about it. Legit.
Let me get us back on the subject.
Yeah.
If possible.
Yes.
Okay.
Go ahead, Blue.
The conversation isn't. Oh, God.
Let him finish, please.
Okay.
Blue, finish.
Can I go? Oh, okay.
Okay.
Go
Yeah.
ahead.
Let Blue finish. So just FYI, the
So-
format here is one side discusses, it passes
I only
back to
have
the
one
center
small
side,
point.
which is myself and Lunar, and then we pass it back to the side. That's how these formats go. And then as she passes it back to Blue, it goes through us again, that we have that ability to kind of soften, moderate, or translate as necessary. Blue, continue.
Okay. I only have one very small point that is kind of irrefutable. When men want to look at a beautiful woman, they go to Instagram or other platforms. If they want to engage with a beautiful woman and hear them talk to her or talk to them and like have a parasocial interaction with them, they come to Twitch. That's why they come to Twitch. That's why women have really solid engagement on Twitch. Anyway, let's get back on topic. I'd like to hear what Lunar has to say.
This whole thing isn't about Janae's medical conditions or her feelings about the matter or her harassment throughout Twitch. Personally, I don't care. I'm a human being. I see the pain, but that's not what we are talking about today on stream. Right? It's literally just talking about what you said, Blue, the smoking gun, the charts, and how you were reading the charts. I'd like to get back on that subject besides this tangent, unless you guys want to keep talking about this.
All right, so before I hand it over, Janai, did you have anything else you wanted to rebut on what Blue said? I know you said a lot and you felt like that was definitive. I just wanted to give you an opportunity to counterpoint before we return to the charts. Did you have anything you wanted to say?
No, I said everything.
Okay, very good. All right, Blue.
I mean, I didn't come in here. I do have one question. I was planning on putting on a video about it. Do you guys want me to include this conversation in the video? Like,
Yeah,
I'm asking particularly. Okay, so I have Zirdan's permission. I would like Lunar's permission and Janae's permission. If I don't have all three, I won't include it. But I like to include both sides. And I had Ellie's side. Ellie and I talked. And so now Janae and I are here, and Lunar's here, and Zirdan's here.
Yeah, I'm completely fine with this.
Yeah,
As long as it's being represented correctly, you know.
This is already happening. On
The only thing I would cut out is that the bit that we talked about at the start, unless you guys want me to keep that in.
That's
Yeah,
fine. I'm fine with it. So all I'm saying is, for me, this is happening on a public platform. Anything that happens on a public platform, you're welcome to reuse. From me.
That's okay.
That being said, I also intend to upload just the VOD to YouTube so they can be stored and watched for everyone else later. So wants to get the whole context, everything that led up to this, because we also have the rest of the video to watch right afterward.
Okay. Can we go back on the real stuff?
Janae didn't say it. I would like to hear Janae. Janae, are you okay with it? Because I'm just trying to give your side. This is your side. This would be my effort to give your side of the situation as well. If you don't want this included, I will not include it.
2 years ago, I had a 1 month ban on Twitch because I have some settings on my Twitch that I did not click the checkbox that I allow like bad words. That's why I got 30-day ban. And the reason, like, why was it even 30 days? Well, it was because 2 months before I had a 7-day ban, because I still didn't know how to set up the settings. And yeah, so the main point of that is, Blue, you had already a 7-day ban and your account is marked for 1 entire year. You know what happens if people now go again and report you for harassment?
She's making a point, Chad, so she was backsetting.
You can even get reported if you just harass a streamer on YouTube, which is not even on Twitch, you know, but it like originally happened on Twitch again. So you went over my stream on your Twitch VOD, and you
not.
did. You
Hold on,
did.
bro.
As you
Let
can
her
see in
talk.
the VOD.
We'll pass it back. Don't worry.
So you went over my stream, over my stats on your stream, and you did talk negative about me, which can lead to harassment. This is actually a reason to report you, and I want to be honest with you, because I don't want you to get banned for 30 days. You should actually not upload this entire video, because you can actually risk a 30 days ban now.
So the summary that she said is no.
This is not a threat. This is not a threat.
That was
this
a
is
threat.
facts.
That was 100% a threat.
Pause. So the summary of her. Hold on, guys.
I'll wait for
for
guys to tell me I can
Blue,
respond.
just give me a second, man. I
Okay,
promise I'll get it back to you.
because of that, I know how Twitch works. I know when you get banned one more time, it will be 30 days. And after 30 days, it will be a permanent ban. So you should honestly not upload a video at all, because people can report you for this and you could get banned for 30 days. It is just Twitch rules. It's not a threat. I'm not saying that I'm going to report you. I'm saying that people might go and report you. You know, this is a difference. It is actually TOS.
The question that he has for you in specific is this conversation that we just had.
Let me know when I can respond.
Yeah, I will. Oh, my bad. I was talking the wrong platform. All right, Janai, in specific, the question that he was asking you, just to be very clear, was this conversation not any of the things from your stream specifically? This conversation, is he allowed to use this in a video for his own use on YouTube?
For his own use on YouTube?
Yes, this conversation we're having right now.
Yes, I was going to include it as a part of the video so that you could have your side included, so that what you said is included in, because I like to give both sides of the argument. So I asked all parties, Lunar approved, Zirdan approved, but I am saying I'm telling you, Janae, if you don't want me
we're not
to put it on YouTube, I won't do it then.
What is the reason?
Blue, I'm not out there yet.
What is the main reason you even do this video?
He wants to, again, it's just a yes.
Let him, I did not ask you. Let him answer this.
Well, go ahead. Go ahead, Blue. You didn't ask me.
Well, we're going to do two things. Number one, I'm going to address the threat that I very clearly just received. And I would warn you of two things. Number one, I'm not
scared. I did not threat you.
You threatened me. It's not even a question, and it's my turn to speak now. You 100% actively witch hunted me on stream to your viewers. You gave them commands. You gave them copy pastes, gave them timestamp VODs and told them exactly how to report people. You actively showed people how to report. That is 100% against TOS. And what you did in chat earlier. And
what did you do earlier before I even did that?
What?
You went over my
We'll go back to the charts.
Ginny, I'm talking about when you got me banned for 7 days. At 2 weeks after the fact it already happened, you had people still mass reporting my stream and encouraging people to report me. So that is TOS. That's 100% against TOS. Number one.
You did not get banned because of me.
Yeah, I did.
No,
yes, I did.
You got banned because of your Throne Liberty VOD.
No.
You would have got the ban instantly if it would have happened because of me.
Not true.
But then a few weeks passed, and then you got the ban.
I'm wondering when I get to talk. I don't interrupt you.
So it was not because of me.
I don't interrupt you. Can I speak?
Let them fight.
Okay. So when I put in the Twitch appeal, it was almost in its entirety about you and clips of you witch hunting me, and they approved that appeal because they agreed with me. Okay, so that right there serves as evidence that it was you and your community that came after me, and that's fine. And what you're doing now is you're threatening to do the same thing. You are absolutely encouraging people in Zeridan's chat right now to go report me and try to get me banned for 30 days so that I'm out of your hair and you can continue to play victim about this entire situation. And I would say that I'm from the United States, and in the United States, we do not negotiate with shies. And in this particular case, you are the one threatening me. Okay. The video is going to go up. What I was asking you is, do you want your side of the story included? That is this conversation right here. Okay. I am offering you to put up your side of the story because I like to put up both sides in the interest of fairness. If you want this conversation, okay, so this will be attached to that video so that people can see it. And it will be timestamped so that people can see your take on things. I'm trying to be fair about it, Janae. In no way am I trying to harass you. And there will also be a disclaimer in the video as well that says no one should be trying to harass any of the streamers discussed in this video, and no one should be trying to go after them in any way or to take any action. No one should be doing anything about this. This is a public service announcement, kind of a video where we talk.
You mind if I interject here, man?
Hold on. So I just want everyone to know the nature of the video and that she has now approved that this is fine. I'm not trying to harass her at all. I'm trying to include her side of the story. She has approved me putting the video on YouTube at this point and including her side. And we're going to make sure that there's disclaimers in there. Now I would like to get back to the charts. Now I forget the question. Yeah, I would like to get back to the subject matter at hand, the charts. And then Janae had asked me a direct question. I apologize. I forget what it was. Janae, you can ask the question, and then we'll get right back to the charts. I forgot what the question was. I'm sorry. I'm like Dory.
My question is, why are you doing all this?
Because I think it's important to the integrity of the entire Black Desert community that we keep the space fair for all content creators, for me included, of course. I have a vested interest in it as well.
I am
obviously. This is not fair. From my view,
I do not know anything about that. I have no idea. I'm a stupid person. I don't know how to view bot or something. And I think it's also against TOS. I mean, it is against TOS. Oh my God, what am I talking? It is against TOS, and if I would do that, I will be banned already. Because look at my total statistics. Go onto my stream. On stream, look into my total. When I started streaming 4 years ago, and how it went up all the way up, the beginning, the total beginning.
Okay. If we want to throw around statistics, why does your VOD from the Adonia stream have 120,000 views on it?
I don't know.
Another I don't know. Crazy.
Yeah, how am I supposed to know? I have no idea.
This reminds me of all those PSAs we used to get about
it said there it is. Okay, all right. Well, let's go back to the chart.
This does remind me of all those PSAs we used to get as kids, where the drug dealers would just give drugs to the kids, and just all these free drugs that are being hanging out. Man, that's what it feels like.
Did you take your VOD from yesterday down?
Yes, because you guys keep attacking me for no reason, and I don't know what to say. I'm just tired of this drama. I just want this to be over.
So suddenly the VOD disappeared. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, yeah, I was just going to pull it up so that we could see. That's okay. Yeah, interesting. Very convenient. All right, so I know that Lunar, we have not still settled this.
Talk about this chart.
Let's see the chart. Yeah,
okay.
Come on, charts.
It's been an hour, guys. It's been an hour.
Let me get this out real quick. Guys, look, I just want to throw this out for everybody that's listening for both sides of this argument. Guys, if you come on and you start threatening each other with bans, this and that and the other things over whatever the it is, you're losing people immediately. Whatever it is, whatever your argument is, people are going to flop sides immediately. And if you return fire with the same shit, it's going to flop sides immediately. I'm not accusing anyone of anything. I'm just pointing out a fact. Lunar, go ahead.
Okay, let me just reiterate the main thing we've been talking about this entire day is about the charts, right? It's about mainly the view botting allegation that Blue has, correct? I just want to get this so we can all talk about this on paper here. And it's going to sound repetitive because this is the third time we talked about it. Sure. I didn't get a direct answer. Okay, so we all know that from PST time, your time is 2 hours ahead of me. It's from PST, it's from 9:20 to 9:30. Okay, this is the increment, the 10-minute increment here, right? And on this here, Ellie loses 500 viewers, and Janae loses 1,000, and then Biseptimus loses.
That we just went all over that.
This is the only thing that actually matters, Janae.
Like, why is everyone saying that it's my fault that I started?
No one is saying this is your fault. No one is saying that.
Well, Blue is saying that, but we are not. Right now, he's going over the information.
You need to understand.
Let him do it.
Everyone just keeps attacking me. Like,
okay.
I don't know
what
you're not under attack here.
Look, listen. I have a human heart. I understand this, but I'm telling you right now, your feelings on this matter is irrelevant to me personally. I don't care.
He's cold as ice.
Okay, I just look at the numbers. I see the inconsistency. I'm looking at Blue's VOD, and I'm watching. I'm taking down his points. Okay, and his argument is based on this. At 9:20 to 9:30 on Ellie's stream and Janae's stream, there's a steep drop. Janae's being 1,000, Ellie's being 500. He also claims that Biseptimus' stream is a perfectly normal stream. But at the exact same time, he drops 700 viewers. At no point in his entire streaming day did he drop 700 viewers besides that exact time. So we can say definitively at that exact time. Let me finish.
Okay. I'll let you finish. I'm sorry.
Okay. So we're saying that around that time, that 10-minute dip is due to all the view bots being purged, right? And you made this argument with Ellie when she was in chat with you that she asked you how many real viewers does she have, and you brought up the chart saying, well, if this is showing the deletion of all the view bots, you have probably 500 real viewers. This is something you said, okay? The only thing I care about this time, like at that time frame, 9:20 to 9:30 PST, is when the new system kicked in. Can we agree on this?
Maybe for the Black Desert category, very likely.
Okay. I don't even think that is every streamer in the Black Desert category that is affected. Because I went to as many viewers as I could, right, and only a select few got that dip in that 10-minute frame. And I watched Biseptimus' stream here, in his 10-minute frame here. Nothing he's doing is out of the ordinary. He's just chatting to his stream, talking about his fancy obliterating armor.
Well, he finished
the quest line. Okay,
I started streaming with I started streaming at the same time I was enhancing. He also just finished the quest line and finished his enhancing.
His enhancing chart here.
There's obviously going to be a drop off there. It's like obvious.
Right. Like, what time do you think his enhancing stream was?
Oh, we went over this. I could have sworn we went over this.
Right. No, exactly, we did. And the drop-off is nowhere close to 700, is what I'm saying.
Well, no. Well, but viewers drop off.
Does that make sense?
I'm happy to see it.
Okay, so go back over here. And again, that's why I tried to tell you that, again, there's a number of factors that go into when you see a slope decline like that.
Yes, a number of factors. Correct.
Okay. All right. Okay. We'll get to it in a second. In this particular case, in biceps, it can be explained with at least 3 or 4 different things. In this case, he's finished with the primary content for the day. I went live and started enhancing right at that time slot. So a lot of his viewers probably came over to me to watch me start my enhancing because I was just getting started. That's another big thing as well. It could also be that bicep maybe, again, he wasn't doing something very interesting.
So how are you willing to give Biseptimus that leeway? Right. You're saying that the reason why he dropped 700 viewers was because you started streaming. How come that logic does not apply?
It was the event, man. You're missing the fundamental crux of his point. I'm saying the fundamental crux of his point.
He finishes the Idania quest line.
Yes.
That's what you're saying.
Yes, correct.
That does not explain 700 viewers drop, is what I'm saying.
In
that 10-minute time frame.
Yes, that coupled with me and Zethian both went live at the exact same time
observe
to do
though,
our
like
enhancing.
percentage-wise, right? What percentage of his viewers, we said what, like 10, 15%? Probably somewhere between 15 and 20%, right? I think that's a fair drop-off when we're talking about the grand scheme of things to lose.
And that's 15.
You could have 10,000 views. It doesn't matter. It's the time frame of how many viewers you lost.
I actually important.
I am on board with the idea that ending the Didania question line might have caused the drop. Now, if a drop was, maybe it was a 700-person drop, who knows, right? But I do agree that probably caused a drop in his viewership because he just completed a major part of content for the game when he was streaming the content.
And 2 other major streamers went live to start doing their content. Zethian and myself both went live at the same time to start enhancing. So, like, again, that explains that drop there. And again, we move over. You look at Janae's stream at the exact same time. There was really no shift for her. I mean, if we look at the VOD, she was just kind of doing her thing. And then all of a sudden, the viewers disappeared. So, like, it's, again, like, that's... we can focus on it, and if you want to disagree on this point, Lunar, I understand. But like in this particular case, I've been doing this a long time. I do know a fair amount about when you lose like 700 viewers and why that might be. And you can ask Bicep if you would like, but I don't think that you might want to bring him into it. You can ask his thoughts.
You can give me 100 different reasons why he could drop viewers at any time. But what we're really looking at, right? Because the most damning thing you have about LA or Janae is that you shared that. You said the exact same time the viewer thing dropped.
And this is where my argument to you, Blue, was important. I said you need more data points than just the one. And that's why I'm saying don't screw your own data.
Like, so I have more data points. Would you like me to present the other data points?
I would absolutely love that.
I would like to finish my point before you go through your data points.
Go ahead.
Finish them.
Okay, so basically we're agreeing here that around that time is when the viewer system kicked in. Right? Because this is an argument you use on your stream for Ellie. Right. This is how you linked Ellie to Janae for view botting.
Right. Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. This one part of that's, and then now you're saying that bisectomis's drop can be explained by other factors. Okay?
Can be, yes, 100%.
Right. Okay. Can be. There's a lot of different variables, like you said.
Sure, yeah.
Now, you also said another variable is that 2 very big streamers just went live at that time.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
You went live, Zethian went live.
Correct.
In about 30 minutes, you went to 1,000 viewers.
Okay.
Correct?
Yep. A lot of them stream.
Okay. What I'm saying is, you are coming live, Zeth is coming live. Right. So okay. you're not looking at, you didn't mention this at all on your stream, by the way.
Well, the reason I didn't mention it is because this
you didn't think about
very easily, no, it's very easily refuted. Because do you really think that 1,000? So Janae hates me. Her community hates me. Do you really think that 1,000 of Janae?
I'm not making the argument.
Do you really feel that 1,000 of Janae's users left her stream to come watch me? Is that the argument? Is that what we're going to try to say is a possible factor here? No, that's not a possible.
That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying.
Okay, so what are you implying then?
I'm saying that, like, at that time is when the viewbot kicked in, and certain people dropped in views. So did your very favorite golden boy, Biseptimus Prime.
Okay.
Right? This is the only data point that you brought up on Ellie and Janae. This is the smoking gun you had. Now, later on, you talk about Ellie's previous streams being consistent when she switches different games, correct? Do you remember this? No, but I'm not saying Biseptimus bots. I'm saying using Blue Squadron's logic, you would then have to agree that Biseptimus lost 700 viewers from that viewbot wipe. I'm saying using your logic, that's how it is. And you're now attributing other factors to him.
No, you gotta let him get it out. Otherwise, he's gonna keep talking around the point.
Okay, all right. He just doesn't understand.
I think I understand more.
So
okay.
Did you have more on that, Lunar?
So that's point 1. Point 2 would be, let's say that these all, like, let's assume that this is view botting, right? And they drop 500 viewers, 1,000 viewers, and 700 viewers with Biseptimus Prime. Okay? That is not definitive proof that person streaming is the view botter either. Can we agree on that too? Like, I have suspicions about a lot of people view botting,
100%.
but I don't just shoot off my hip. I wait and I do my research and I see when they start streaming. I see the different systems for it.
You gotta let him talk.
Okay, all right, sorry.
I agree. Yeah, it is suspicious, but I'm saying it's not enough. Is what I'm saying. And you know that this system is a new system, and you even said that it could be a flawed system. So how could you do that so quickly? Is what I'm saying. You're not doing enough research. And you didn't point out that you started streaming or Zethin started streaming at the exact same time. They're all losing all these viewers, and Bed Sutton is losing all these viewers.
Blue did say that he has another data point that he'd like to point to. And also, Janai is waiting for her conversation. So, Blue, we're going to go to you first, and then we'll go to Janai because that's the order we had these come up in. So, Blue, go ahead.
Okay. Where to start with this? I feel like we've hashed on this a number of times. I feel like you just don't really quite grasp why Biseptimus has a reason that his viewers declined. And again, losing 700 viewers.
I don't want to go back in a circle. I do want to see the new stuff, though.
I understand, but losing 700 viewers is very different than losing 1,000, especially when the percentage matters too. We'll set that aside because again, Ziridan at least sees my point on this. I did my best to explain it. There's not much more I can do. The other point
I think he understands. He just doesn't agree with you.
I didn't just and that's fine. And again, there still has not been an explanation that is plausible for this. Is Janae's engagement in chat, and then her growth in viewers over time on Twitch. Again, she mentioned her growth graph before, and that's also not supernatural either for a streamer of her level. She just suddenly in April just decided I'm going to suddenly she just started rocketing.
Wasn't that around the time you two were beefing?
Yep. That was around the time she started AFK drop streaming.
But don't you think that might have created attention for her?
Well, again, no, that was not. No, she was AFK drop streaming, which increased her viewership. That's what increased
it continued
attention.
after she stopped her. And that's what I'm saying. I think that attention, it's the Streisand effect, bro.
So you were attributing hold on, let me look at the difference here. So in April, she had 700